The Fermi paradox is an unsettling theory that questions your existence like no other. The apparent contradiction between the lack of evidence for extraterrestrial civilizations opposed to the size of the observable universe and the enormous likelihood of their existence. Simply said, if the universe is so big and vast, where is everyone? Where is all the indisputable evidence that point toward the undeniable probability of an alien species' existence? Ironically, we don't have anything substantial enough, but we do have a lead. In 1977, the Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, which was then used to support the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, received its first and last signal from outer space. It was a strong narrow-band radio signal that lasted for a full window of 72 seconds from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius to never return. Despite several subsequent attempts for redetection, we failed. Many hypotheses have been proposed to explain the origins of the signals, including man-made or extraterrestrial arguments, but all of them deemed inconclusive. Astronomer Jerry R. Ehman, who had discovered the signal, was so impressed by the phenomena that he circled the computer printout of the signal 6EQUJ5 and wrote the comment "Wow," which became an iconic recognition for the event. This event remains the strongest candidate for an alien transmission ever detected. In 2012, at the Arecibo Laboratory, which marked the 35th anniversary of the WOW signal, we sent out a response beam. 35 years after. The transmission consisted of 10,000 various Twitter messages bearing hashtags chasing UFOs and verbal messages from various celebrities. I personally say we could have done a better job on the quality of the messages we sent out, but I guess it's kind of witty. So where is everyone? Well, to give you a reminder of how microscopic our existence is, just our Milky Way has a spread over 100,000 light years of diameter, and the observable universe is 93 billion light years of diameter. What does that even mean? Concluding that there is no life based on what we can physically examine from Earth is like scooping up an ounce of sand in the ocean and declaring there are no elephants in the world. It's just as ridiculous, if not more. So if extraterrestrial life is bound to exist, at least based on the extravagant probabilities, how advanced would they be compared to us? To answer this question, we must rely on a scale named the Kardashev scale. Not the Kardashian scale, but the Kardashev scale. The Kardashev scale is a scale used for hypothesizing a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy that they are able to use. And there are 3 stages to this scale. The Type 1 civilization, which is the stage 1 of the Kardashev scale, resembles the technology we have attained here on Earth. Our current level of technology is estimated to be approximately 0.7 of the scale. The full Type 1 civilization requires to have mastered all the energy available to their home planet. It is capable of interplanetary spaceflight, communication, and mega-scale engineering. A Type 1 civilization is still vulnerable to extinction. The Type 2 civilization has control over their entire solar system, and theoretically is able to harness all the power available in a single star like the Sun. It is capable of evolutionary intervention, terraforming, and interstellar travel. This would theoretically negate the probability of extinction. The Type 3 civilization extracts fusion energy from their galaxy. It is capable of intergalactic travels via wormholes and would have mastered all arts of galaxy-scale engineering. The estimated population required for a species to get to this type of technological advancement is 1 nonillion people. That is 1 with 30 zeros. Now, the problem with this scale is that we still have yet to find any aliens. and we've never really come across a situation where this is applicable. And although this is a scale that many scientists agree on, we can't disregard the fact that these scales were created from the limit of human intellectual capacities. And just like how the smartest turtle in the world wouldn't be able to solve the Pythagorean theorem in a million years, maybe humans are just incapable of solving such a complicated question. Hence, we will never know our true origin. It's a pretty undisputed fact that when it comes to aliens, we just aren't sure. Whether they are caring or destructive, you really have to make your own conclusion. But speaking of making your own conclusion, recalls a man named Bob Lazar. This is a man that will surprise you on his alleged claims. Bob Lazar is a man who claims to have been hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology at a secret site called S4, or the commonly known as Area 51. While you might be thinking that he's just a delusional man, he does seem to have an interesting story. In May of 1989, he appeared in an interview on a Las Vegas TV station KLAS under an alias name as Dennis, and his face was censored where he discussed his employment at S4.
Totally impossible. The propulsion system is a gravity propulsion system. The power source is an antimatter reactor. This technology does not exist at all.
The claims sounded like Hollywood sci-fi. Months later, when his identity was revealed, Bob Lazar said he worked at a secret facility near Groom Lake, where alien technology was being reverse engineered, that is, taken apart to figure out how it worked and whether the Pentagon could duplicate it. This is the simple drawing he made at the time.
Now, I had access and was permitted to view and look at the operation of this main level with the gravity amplifiers and the level below.
The premise seems less preposterous now. In a new documentary about Lazar, he describes in detail the spacecraft he worked on 30 years ago.
He claimed that the vehicle ran on an antimatter reactor and was fueled by a chemical element now known as E115 or moscovium. However, this element had never been artificially created by humans until 2003. It was an unknown element at the time. He went further to explain that the propulsion from the element E115 generated a gravity wave that allowed the vehicle to fly and evade visual detection by bending light around it. The semi-sphere vehicle was split into two main levels. The reactor was positioned at the center of the upper level with an antenna sticking to the top, surrounded by 3 gravity amplifiers. These would connect to the amplifiers on the lower level, which can rotate 180 degrees to output a gravitational force, and that the craft would travel belly first into the distortion field. He also reported that during his tenure at Area 51, he was briefed on documents describing historical involvement of Earth and extraterrestrial beings for the last 10,000 years. The documents described them as gray aliens from a planet orbiting the twin binary star system, Zeta Reticuli. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous but interesting at the same time. Lazar's story caught many eyes at the time of the interview, and caught even more eyes after the discovery of element E115. Lazar's story does sound well put together, but really no way to tell, as he claims all his records have been erased from the government, which would also make sense from the government's perspective, who is running a top-secret alien mission in the middle of the desert, making it impossible to verify. And I know this sounds pessimistic, but consider this. Maybe we are the only ones here. Even if there is life outside of Earth, the chances of them becoming such an advanced colony to intergalactically travel are just unlikely. Maybe we are the first to lead the way, and that makes each and every one of us very special. Too special to have your life defined by a common job. So whoever you think you are, you only need to convince yourself, because there are no answers. You are whoever you set out yourself to be. So aliens or no aliens, and until the day a UFO drops on us and we have undeniable, compelling evidence, we should strive to be the greatest individuals ourselves, so that when aliens do arrive, they will have some mercy for the kind human beings we were to this planet and to our neighboring species. And as the Fermi paradox claims, even if life is not rare. Intelligent life certainly might be.